Sure.
180 right now. Now the 180 is going to be best practiced on your shoes. So I want you to try this with me right now. So hopefully you can see me. So you're standing up, I guess starting in our ready position. And as we approach the 180 jump, we're going to open up into our surfer arms with a slight scissor. And the scissor could be close, it could be far. A big wide scissor is going to be better for your balance, but it's going to be harder to like get much of a jump. A closer scissor is going to be a more powerful jump, maybe a little less balance on the landing portion of this. But anyways, you'll notice my left arm is in front, my left leg is in front, or if I was going to do it the other way, vice versa. Right foot in front, right arm, boom. So you get the idea of the positions. That's how we're going to approach the jump. Now, the movement here is it's not going to be any sort of rotation with my arms. My arms are going to stay still. I'm going to look over my arm at my landing, and my lower body is going to pivot. Essentially going to be like a toe pivot, like I was putting out a cigarette, like this. It's like I don't want to burn down another forest in BC, so boom, I'm putting it up. When I put that together, I have my 180. Cool. So the technique is essentially a toe pivot. Now we talked about our jumping, right, and pushing off with our toes. So we push off with our toes and initiate that kind of putting out the cigarette movement. We have our 180. Boom, okay. Let's get the skates on. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. There's one of the bladers that's like, okay, so I've got my skates on now. So the position that I'm gonna warm up my 180s in, right here. So surfer arm, scissor, same foot in front, same arm in front. And when I'm approaching the jump, I'm gonna make sure that my shins are pushed into the tongues of my skates. Right, I'm leveraging my weight there, and my toes are light, so my weight is middle of my foot slightly forward, approximately on that second wheel. So this is my setup. Arms, feet, and now adjusting my weight, toes into, the shins into the tongues, my toes nice and light. Perfect, okay, here we go. 180, I don't want to be turning my head, I want to be locking in exactly over my arm, spotting my landing the whole way. Okay. So I'm going to start with the scissor and arms. Boom. Good. Okay, wait. And now looking. Ready. Boom. So my head is always spotting landing the whole time. My body's turning, but my head is not. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about the rotation now. So we've got the position, right? We're locked in here. How do I train my body to get used to that 180? It's going to be that toe pivot, just like we did in our shoes. So first I'm going to push, right? So I'm lifting up weight into my toes. Okay, good. Now I want that put out the cigarette movement. Okay, right? My feet didn't totally turn, but I'm about where I need to be. Good, okay, so let's try that now. All right, boom, so I'm in that surfer scissor. Good, adjusting my weight, locking in, and just pushing my toes. And now toes in that cigarette movement. Okay, so my body is getting used to the movement, keeping my head still. Perfect, so now I can put it together. So I'd start with a couple hops, and it's gonna be that hop with the turn. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna lock in, surfer arm, scissor. Okay, wait, perfect. Hop, okay, try again. Boom. And I'm looking exactly where I'm going. So I'm perfectly set up for whatever's coming next. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about the landing now. Now, not as much needs to be said about the landing as we've talked about with our forward landings, but essentially, it's very natural the 180 is going to create its own kind of stomp landing. So when I'm going backwards, my toes are landing first and I'm sitting into that landing. When I'm going forward, right, the stomp happens with my heels landing slightly first. So very similar to the stomp landing, but right, instead of our heels, we have our toes because we're going backwards. And we're definitely going to want to leverage the scissor. So like I quickly mentioned before, a wider scissor is going to give you a better base. So when you land, you have a bigger space. Cool. The problem with that is you have less power to push off the ground. So a smaller scissor will work, but the trade-off would be a little less stable of a landing. But of course, then you can jump higher. Cool.
I am.
You think that's better than
The stick. That's my opinion. The stick is cool because it's turned toward you,
yeah.
but I'm gonna be there, right? I'll try to follow you as much as I can. If I can't go down the stairs, usually